Detective Elena Ross had worked in homicide for 17 years, and she thought she'd seen every kind of monster City could produce. But the case of Nathan Graves unsettled her in a way she couldn't explain. Nathan was a soft-spoken librarian, the kind of man who still wore a wristwatch and shelved his shoes at the door. His wife, Allison, was found dead in their kitchen, stabbed 27 times. The smell of burnt metal lingered from where her wedding ring had been melted on the stove. Neighbors reported screams around midnight. There was no sign of forced entry, no signs of struggle from the victim. Nathan's fingerprints were on the knife, and he made no attempt to run. In fact, when Elena arrived, he was sitting at the kitchen table in a blood-streaked shirt, eyes vacant. "I killed her," he said, barely above a whisper. "I deserve whatever you give me." He waived his right to a trial, pled guilty, and was sentenced to life without parole. For Elena, it was too easy, but she let it go. Sometimes people snap. 6 years passed. One morning, Elena found a letter slipped under her door. Handwritten, no return address. Detective Ross, I'm dying. I have nothing left to lose. You arrested the wrong man. I killed Allison Graves. Check behind the third brick in the old Wellcroft Barnes fireplace. J.D. She read it 3 times. She hadn't thought about the Graves case in years, but something about the name J.D. sparked a memory. Allison's ex-boyfriend, James Donovan. He'd been arrested twice for domestic battery before disappearing off the radar. Elena hesitated, then drove out to the barn, behind the third brick. She found a plastic pouch containing a blood-stained ring, a stove burner knob that matched the crime scene, and a diary page. It read, "She ruined me, made me feel like nothing, said I'd never be a father." I snapped. I didn't mean to kill her. It was signed James D. Elena took the evidence in. The DA reopened the file. A full re-examination of the case ensued. The diary matched Donovan's handwriting. DNA tests confirmed the blood on the ring belonged to Allison. Nathan's case was on the verge of overturning. The press circled like hawks. Some called him a tragic martyr. Others suspected he knew more than he let on. But just before the motion to vacate the conviction could be filed, the forensic lab returned unexpected results. The DNA on the diary page, the one supposedly written by James Donovan, didn't match him. It didn't belong to Allison either. It belonged to Elena Ross. The page had been planted, the letter forged, the entire discovery at the barn fabricated. Elena's past came rushing back. Years earlier, she had responded to a domestic call at the Graves home. Allison had accused Nathan of abuse, screaming, bruises, weeping in front of their teenage son. But Elena had sent something off. The boy never made eye contact. The bruises seemed inconsistent. She made a quiet call, and the case was dropped, the report buried. What no one knew was that Elena carried guilt from that night. She never followed protocol. She never filed the footage. Allison, as it later emerged, was emotionally abusive to both her husband and the boy. And on the night of the murder, Elena went to confront her in person. Off duty. No warrant. No backup. Things escalated. Angry words turned physical. Allison lunged. Elena reacted. When Nathan arrived home, Allison was already dead. The kitchen a war zone. Elena panicked, but Nathan didn't. He looked down at the body, then at Elena. "She hurt my son," he said quietly. "She destroyed everything." Then, to Elena's disbelief, he picked up the knife, pressed his hand to it, and said, "I'll take it from here." He never recanted. Not once. The barn? Elena had planted the evidence herself, hoping the system might absolve him, without exposing what she'd done. But it unraveled faster than she expected. Elena turned in her badge the next morning and disappeared from public view. No charges were filed. No statement was made. Nathan Graves remains in prison to this day. He continues to say only one thing. "I killed her. I deserve whatever you give me." And maybe in some strange way, he did.